First of all, for this week, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
How old?
How old do I look?
26.
26.
Do you feel like you're at the halfway point? 8 years a professional. Does this feel like half time?
Nearly. I'd say I'd like to go a little bit longer than another 8 years, if I'm honest. But it feels like I'm experienced now, you know. No excuses. I'm a man. I've got responsibilities, and you know the first 8 were amazing. Let's hope that the future's even better.
Yes or no? Do you feel an established England player?
No. But that was the same at Liverpool until maybe I hit near enough 100 games. I didn't feel established. That's not something in my mentality. You know, I don't like to get complacent at all. So, you know, there will be a point where I feel established, I'm sure. But up until now, no.
What makes that happen?
Just a run of games, especially in big competitions. And I think winning things, you get that feeling from.
In a word, if you don't mind, how would you sum up your England career so far?
Exciting.
It's taken you to places that no other career can.
No, it's, you know, I've been to 3 major tournaments. I've been in and around the setup a long time. I've faced many good teams. I've, you know, travelled the world, and I've always been grateful for that, no matter what. And I've played games also, so it's been an exciting journey, and hopefully one that can continues that way.
But I spoke to you 3 years ago. You said there's a lot more potential to be unlocked. Is that still the case?
Yeah, but I think that's regarding me as a player still, regarding the team. And so I think if you ask any player, they've still got a lot of potential to be unlocked. And if you ask the manager, has the team got more potential to be unlocked, he would say yes as well. So it works hand in hand.
2 Player of the Match awards last month. How do you feel you did? What was it about those games that got you those awards? What suited it?
I think the style of football that we played with freedom. The manager didn't really have too many limitations on where we could be or what to do. I found myself in positions that were natural to me, whether it was roaming inside, getting the ball off the centre-back, or high and wide, making underlaps, overlaps. I was kind of doing it all, and I was playing. Yeah, I played well. I was enjoying it. I was hitting passes there. I like to hit.
How do you define the role you were given?
I think one with senses of freedom, but also responsibility, because no matter what the opponent we play, it's important to limit them to their chances and not give up too many chances at the other end. First and foremost, I'm a defender, so you know 2 clean sheets is what pleases me. And then when we do have the ball, get in positions to help the team win the game.
You said in a previous interview, the best thing for me is feeling I've got freedom out there. I play my best football when the shackles have been cut off. Is that what a lot of your game is still about, will always be about?
That's just the way I view football, to be honest. That's the way I interpret my role as a player on the pitch. You know, a lot of people will have done in the past, and I'm guessing will continue to do so in the future. Always ask me what is my best position, whether it's right back in midfield or whatever. And my answer will always be, I'm someone who doesn't look at positions on a football pitch. I'm someone who, what I tell myself and what I believe in and how I play is play the game, not the position.
I think that when you said that 3 years ago, it was obviously a huge part of how you view yourself and how you view your approach to the game. In order for that then to click in a way many might want to see more for England now, what has to happen?
Well, I think the way that we play suits that style of the way I view the game. That we're not kind of just, you know, just dots on the pitch and we have to stay in that exact space. It's free roaming, it's rotating, it's coming in, coming out, and freedom. So I think as long as that stays the same, then I'm sure, you know, if I get the chance to play, then I'd like to play a good game. I can't always play a good game, but if those things are in place, then, you know, a good game should happen for me.
If you start on Thursday against Greece, it'll be 3 starts in a row, the most you've ever had for England.
So that's exciting again. That's exciting. Yeah, 3rd in a row, and hopefully many more.
What does it tell you that, I suppose, that well, that's the key, isn't it? Really, that's the key. For any player to make a mark, they need to have a consistent run. And that's what you need.
Of course, but, you know, in the last, 7-8 years I've been in the setup, there's been fierce competition from players who are world class in the same position that I am. So, you know, it's been hard for any of us to get consistency. But, you know, it feels like there's a chance now, potentially.
How would you define your relationship with football? Work, obsession, love?
I mean, definitely work, but more so the other 2 options. It's an obsession of mine and I love it dearly, if I'm honest.
What's the best thing about the game?
Winning.
What pleasure do you take when you nail a pass? When the vision that you have happens? You make it happen? It's a feeling of knowing that the practice that I put in from a very, very young age has paid its dividends, massively so. But yeah, you know, it gives you more confidence to keep doing it. What's success given you that you value most? Because you could say money, or you could say medals, or you could say memories, or you could say the ability to open your own academy.
Yeah, there's a lot. Of course, memories that will last with me for a lifetime. I think also the ability to give back to the less fortunate as much as I can. And I think, you know, one of the most important things it's given me is that hunger to go and chase success again.
Where does that come from?
It comes from within. I think it comes from just a feeling of it's a hamster wheel. It'll never be enough. It will never be enough. There'll never be enough trophies that you can win. There'll never be enough, you know, assists or passes that you make. There'll never be enough.
What's your fear? What's your fear then? Is it not maximising your talent?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this was a conversation I had last camp when we were travelling to Ireland. I was on the coach down to the airport with Eze, and we had this conversation. And I said, you know, there's a chance that, you know, I may never win another trophy in my career again. There's a chance of that. There's a chance I'll win many, many more. And I think you'll only know the day after, the morning after you retire, and you look yourself in the mirror, and you'll have a feeling of either regret or satisfaction of what you've achieved. But I don't think you can value that on trophies and medals and goals, assists, anything like that. It's more, I give it absolutely everything from start to finish. I put everything into it, and as long as I can say that every single day I put everything into it, I tried to get better every single day. I tried to improve myself. I tried to be the best player I could be for the team. Tried to help the team win as many games as possible. And I believe that I maximised the potential that everybody told me from a very young age that I had. Then I'll be more than satisfied.
Work, obsession, love, that's obsession.
It is. I'm obsessed. I mean, every player has to be obsessed. It's, 20 years now I've been playing football for, it's 20 years.
So make the most of what you've got means doing everything you can, trying everything you can.
Doing absolutely anything you can.
Where do you see yourself in 8 years' time? 8 years a pro, where do you see yourself in 8 years' time?
I see myself probably come to the end of my career in a few years, hopefully. But I see someone who's, achieved something, not just, trophies or anything, but, left a legacy on the game. I was approaching that area, I think, as all great players do within the last couple of years. You reminisce on the legacy that they're starting to leave behind.
Yes or no? Is this a pivotal time in your career?
For sure. I would say, yeah. I think right now is probably it's shifted from going from a young player into what you are now, which is a man and a senior player within football, and it's transitioning now into. I feel like I've entered the prime of my career right now, and extending that to as far as I can.
So the next 8 years or so define your career? More than the previous 8?
Yeah, for sure. Because I don't want to be the player remembered that, only won trophies when he was young. I want to be the player that continued to win trophies year after year until the end of, and was a great player in each season that he played.
What word best sums up that penalty shootout against Switzerland?
I would say fate, if I'm honest, fate. I spoke about it throughout the tournament with Jude. I said, and my brothers, my family, I said, I know I'm going to have a moment. Whether, it was going to be like a block tackle or something, or like Jude had his overhead kick, I knew I would have my moment. And, when the manager says, you're on, knowing I'm, preparing to take a pen, and then he also says, you're fifth, I started to think this is what I've spoken about to people around me. And I've spoken it into existence, kind of. And I just knew it was my moment. So there was nothing in my head that there was no doubt about it. I knew that I was going to score and that it was going to be, the moment that I'd dreamed of, really.
What was the overriding emotion as he struck the ball?
I would say just, it's hard because there is a little bit of relief, but I would say it's more determination to make sure you score it. There's so much riding on it, and there was no option, so everything was focused on just scoring it, and hitting it as hard as I could, and making sure it was on target.
Have you watched it back?
Of course, of course.
How often do you watch it back?
I haven't watched it in a long time, to be fair.
You move on.
Mm-hmm.
You move on. You've been to 3 tournaments. England in that time have had 9 knockout matches. How many have you started?
None.
Is that the goal?
Of course, yeah.
To make sure in the next tournament you're the man, you're the one who starts in those games.
Yeah. I want to be a starter. I want to start every game there is.
But going up to that level, if you like.
Mm-hmm. They're the stages that I love to play on. The big stages, they're the ones where the best players come out and perform. And, you see it within the games. You see the ones who aren't really at that level, like the pressure and the stage kind of eats at them, and others relish in it.
So, is there a degree of trust in you? There needs to be a trust in Trent.
But there needs to be a trust in every player. There needs to be a trust, and whether it was trust or lack of trust, I don't know. It may have been, decisions are made. I don't hold it against any person, and I said that to myself at the start of my career, that you can't hold it against anyone, because, the manager has to pick 11 players to play, and then the other, however more, 12, every single one of them, the 12, believe they should be playing that game, and that's the mentality you have to have. Anyone on the bench thinks they should be playing, and you're watching the game and you're thinking, every player thinks I could come on and make a difference.
Yeah, sure. And it's about systems. It's about how you want to play. It's about all those. It's about all those sort of things. Do you feel now in the system, in the next few months, in the next year or two, going to the World Cup, then, if you can have that freedom in this England team, you can be the player who's impacting those games at the back end of a tournament?
Mm-hmm, for sure. I think in whatever way you see the game or want to judge it, I believe I'm a game winner. And in those tight games, whether it be a pass, a cross, something to unlock the defence, or, doing defensive work the way that it needs to be done, that I can win games in many ways.
Exciting, as you say.
Very.
A lot to come.
Hopefully.
Good luck this week. Good luck in the next 8 years.
Thank you very much.